Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel again, Film with HD. Today I'm going to do my top 10 list of my favorite movies of all time. There's all kinds of different genres in here and they're my personal favorites. So when you don't see your personal favorites on there or some of the movies that might be better than some of the ones that I say, they're my favorites. Mine. So first off, at number 10 is Seven, directed by David Fincher, starring Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, and bald Kevin Spacey. Seven is about two detectives, a veteran and a rookie, set out to find a serial killer that kills people using the seven deadly sins. This is a very dark and twisted movie. It's very demented. The way that the people die in this movie is just like, you have to be really sick and twisted to think of ways to kill people like this. I don't know what it is. I just love it. Maybe I'm just a sick and twisted dude, just like Kevin Spacey is in the movie. But I mean, I can't help that. I like it. Keep killing people. I like it. At number 9 is Rushmore, directed by Wes Anderson. It stars Jason Schwartzman, Bill Murray, and a bunch of people that I do not know. Wes Anderson is known for directing some really weird and original movies, but this one is my favorite directed by him, and I absolutely love every second of it. Jason Schwartzman plays a guy named Max Fisher attending the school Rushmore. He meets a teacher there, and he falls in love with her, but she doesn't love him back, and everything goes downhill from there. Like I said before, Wes Anderson's known for making very original movies, and this is very original. And Max Fisher is just a weird little odd kid that you don't see everywhere. He's the one kid at school that you're just like, get away from me, you weirdo. But I mean, Max Fisher, he's great. I loved his character. Bill Murray is a guy in the middle of a divorce, and he's an alcoholic, and he smokes all the time, and he's not taking his divorce very well. Rushmore is strange, and it's funny at times, but in all, it's a great movie. Let's take a look at one of the funniest scenes to me in Rushmore.
Go. Did you invite that kid to your party?
Max Fisher.
Come on, Dad, there's gonna be girls there. I'd rather die.
Pull your head out of your ass.
At number 8 is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, directed by David Fincher, starring Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. David Fincher has always been my favorite director. I love every single one of his movies, and this one, wow. I mean, I can't think of an emotion that you don't feel throughout this movie. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is about a guy that was born old, and as his life progresses, he gets younger. And he falls in love with Cate Blanchett, and when he falls in love, they get married, and they have kids, but Brad Pitt's like, I gotta leave. I'm getting younger, and our daughter can't have a dad that's an infant. I can't be her friend. I need to be her dad. When he makes that decision is basically when everything is sad. The end of the movie is like Cate Blanchett holding a baby Brad Pitt in her hands. David Fincher always does a great job directing movies. The ending of this movie is very, very, very sad. Throughout the movie, it's kind of depressing, but I mean, I like being depressed in movies because I'm a sucker for very sad movies. In all, this movie is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Coming in at number 7 is Star Wars: A New Hope. This film out of the whole saga has always been my favorite. My favorite character has always been Obi-Wan. I don't know why, but this is the last film that he's in. As you know, A New Hope was the first Star Wars movie ever made. Mark Hamill's in it, Carrie Fisher's in it, Harrison Ford's in it. It's all the original characters from the old movies. I don't know what it is about this movie, but it's just my favorite. I love all the scenes when Ben Kenobi, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Luke are just running through the Death Star and stuff, and when Ben Kenobi gets killed, I'm just like, dang man, that was my favorite character. Darth Vader may be the biggest badass villain in any movie ever. He doesn't even have to touch you. He just puts his arms up, squeezes like this, and you're choking, and you're dying, and you're gasping for air. Coming in at number 6 is Life of Pi, directed by Ang Lee, starring Suraj Sharma and a tiger. Basically, this movie is Castaway, but on a little lifeboat, I guess. And on the lifeboat is a little Indian boy, a tiger, a hyena, a zebra, and an orangutan. You can imagine who ends up being the last two survivors on the boat. Life of Pi has such a great adventure in the movie. Ang Lee does a really good job directing this movie. He makes you feel all kinds of emotions for Pi and the tiger throughout their journey on the boat. If everything in this film could happen, I would go out, adopt a tiger, bring it home, name it Richard Parker, surprise my girlfriend with a tiger that she's always wanted, and we'd love it and bond with it every day of our lives. But in reality, if we went out, adopted a tiger, I wouldn't make it home with a tiger in the car. I'd have my face eaten off, and there'd be blood all over the windshield, and I'd swerve, and I'd wreck with all the cars in front of me, and there'd be a big explosion, and we'd all die. Coming in at number 5 is Good Will Hunting, directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Matt Damon, Robin Williams, and Ben Affleck. This movie is what got Ben Affleck and Matt Damon famous because they wrote the screenplay together. This movie is also the movie that Robin Williams won his first Oscar for. The movie is basically about Matt Damon, Will Hunting. He's a janitor, but he has the mind of a genius. He's smarter than almost everybody in the movie. Actually, he is smarter than everybody in the movie, almost everybody in the world. Throughout the movie, they're trying to get him to break out of his shell and reach his full potential and be a mathematician or whatever he wants to be successful in because he can do it because he's a genius. Robin Williams, his performance is outstanding. No wonder he won an Oscar for it. There's a scene in the movie with him and Matt Damon, and that's one of the saddest scenes I've ever seen in my life. But if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, definitely check it out. It's a high recommendation for me. It's, as you can tell, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, so check it out if you haven't seen it. Coming in at number 4 is The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, and, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. First of all, I want to start off by saying Heath Ledger gave the performance of his life. I don't think I've ever seen a performance in a villainous role that's better than Heath Ledger's as the Joker. Everybody turned a cold shoulder to Heath Ledger when he was casted as the Joker, and look what he did, and look how everybody's reaction was to the movie. It's a complete tragedy that Heath Ledger died after this movie was made because I would love to have seen him in another Batman movie. After Heath Ledger's performance as Joker, I don't think I ever will want to see Joker played again in a Batman movie. Christian Bale plays Batman. Of course, it's going to be a great role because Christian Bale's an excellent actor. Michael Caine is Alfred. Morgan Freeman is Lucius Fox. Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent / Two-Face. And Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel. This movie, I think, has to be the most incredible comic book movie ever made. I remember when I first saw this movie, I was watching, and it got to a big event in the movie, and I was like, oh man, it's going to be over now. And then something else happened, I was like, yes, more Batman, more Batman, more Batman. Anyways, if you have not seen The Dark Knight, like, why? Watch it. I can't see shit! Coming in at number 3 is Django Unchained, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo DiCaprio. This is my favorite movie directed by Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino always directs original movies, and this one didn't let me down. Jamie Foxx did great as Django. Christoph Waltz gave an excellent performance, as always, and he received an Oscar for it. Leonardo DiCaprio gives us another excellent performance, and again, doesn't get nominated for an Oscar. There's a scene in this movie where Leonardo DiCaprio slams his hand on the table, and he just happens to hit his hand on a knife, and when he hits his hand on the knife, blood is trickling down his arm, and that's real. The blood is real. He cut his hand during the scene, and he just acted through it. Do you want a more badass actor? The man was dying in the scene, and he keeps acting. The action scenes of the movie are amazing as well. The way Jamie Foxx shoots people, oh my jeez, that's like I would not want to be in a gunfight with him. Coming in at number 2 is Fight Club, directed by David Fincher, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. This movie is the best thriller, in my opinion, of all time. This movie really has you invested in the idea of Edward Norton's character in the movie. And towards the end of the movie, it takes a turn that you do not expect at all. Brad Pitt as Tyler Durden was excellent. He plays a really freaky and twisted guy. Fight Club is about a man that has insomnia. And to fix his insomnia, he has to go to all these different group therapy sessions. And when he does, he has to make himself cry, and in order to sleep, he has to keep crying. And along the way, he meets somebody named Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt, and they become best friends, and they live in this nasty, dirty house that hasn't been cleaned for 30 years. And they live on something called Paper Street, I think, and they make soap out of fat. They literally jump in dumpsters behind some hospital and take bags of fat and cut the fat out and take it, and they make soap out of fat. That is completely disgusting. The twist in this movie is great. You'll never see it coming, not by a long shot, and it'll have you thinking about your life for the rest of your life. Now guys, it's time for number 1, and when you see it, I think you'll be like, it's cliche. It's not cliche. It's my personal favorite. There's a story behind it. Coming in at number 1 is Titanic, directed by James Cameron, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and Kathy Bates. I think I'm really just a sucker for this movie because you take a romance and you put it on a sinking ship and you have gold. If you take the time period this movie was made in, it is very ahead of its time. Titanic is about Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Jack Dawson. He's a poor guy and he comes across tickets on the Titanic. And while he's on the Titanic, he sees a girl named Rose DeWitt Bukater, played by Kate Winslet, my favorite actress. He saves her life because she's going to commit suicide, so he saves her life, and basically they fall in love later on, and now they have to both survive on the sinking ship. If you have not seen Titanic, you have not lived yet, and you are a complete failure at life. Leonardo DiCaprio is always awesome in movies, and he always gives good performances, and I can't complain with his role. I just told you Kate Winslet's my favorite actress, so I can't complain about her role either. So all the acting in the movie, I'm completely fine with. I don't know why I say I'm completely fine with the acting, like there's something with the movie that I didn't like, because I loved every second of it, and there's not one single thing I can point out in the movie that I did not like. This movie also has one of the saddest endings I've ever seen in my life. Anyways guys, this concludes my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Tell me what you think about my top 10, and maybe if you want, you can comment below and tell me about your top 10. So anyways guys, thanks for watching my top 10, and if you liked it, subscribe to my channel and keep checking for videos. I'll see you guys later.